The LG V series is back with a new entry that really ups the ante from their last flagship attempt. It's Joshua Vergara, what's going on everybody? And we're taking a quick look at the brand new LG V30 versus the LG G6. It's pretty obvious where we start off here, as we can talk about the size of these two phones. LG now makes a 6-inch display fit on the LG V30, and it is a few grams lighter than the 5.7-inch G6. Gone is the bulkiness of the V20 along with that metal backing that we actually kind of liked. But the phone is still incredibly sleek, and with that dual glass panel design, it's a very nice look that kind of derives from the original G6. It also feels really light and thin, and it actually is a little bit lighter than the G6. We wouldn't really blame anybody for thinking that the V30 looks a little bit like a cross between the Galaxy S8 and the LG G6 itself, but we do think that this is a nice step forward for the V series flagship. Even if it's not fully metallic anymore, the V30 still retains a couple of features that put it above the G6 in durability, including the mil-spec standard, and of course, it still has the IP68 certification. Both phones have 18:9 aspect ratios in their displays, however, there's a shift from the G6 to the V30 from LCD to OLED displays. It's a great change for the V30, and they actually take advantage of it pretty well with an always-on display that includes some elements you can actually scroll through and use. There are some other clear benefits for the V30, which is brighter than the G6 and also features a slightly more pleasant color balance. The specs also put the V30, as expected, above the G6, as the V30 has the Snapdragon 835 compared to the G6's 821. 4GB of RAM is standard between these two devices, though there is a V30 Plus that will include 6GB of RAM. The G6 unfortunately only had features like wireless charging and the Hi-Fi Quad DAC available in certain markets, but both of these features are now available on every single device in the V30. And speaking of battery life, both phones come in at 3300 mAh. However, with the OLED screen and also the superior processor, we are expecting that the V30 will still have a good battery life longevity despite its larger display. Which brings us to the cameras, and as the G6 and the G5 before it have proven, a dual camera setup with a wide-angle lens can actually be a lot of fun, and the V30 continues that trend. They actually up the ante a little bit with a 13-megapixel wide-angle lens that comes in at f1.9 aperture, but another great story here is that the 16-megapixel standard angle lens has f1.6 aperture. And this is all encased in a glass lens that absorbs more light than the usual plastic material that is used in other cameras. The software for the camera also provides a lot of new features, including the Cine Video mode. Now, in Cine Video, you are able to record basically log format video, which you can then color grade in post-processing. And there is the point zoom feature here that allows you to zoom straight into any particular portion of the frame if you want to add that bit of emphasis. The G6 is not really that far behind in the camera department, as its dual 13-megapixel f1.8 cameras are still wonderful to use. However, the advancements in the V30 really make it clear that LG has the cinematographer, or rather the creator, in mind. Really, if it comes down to size, we would still say that the LG G6 is a little bit easier to handle overall, but the LG V30 is a light, accessible body that has so many capabilities underneath its hood. It should come as no surprise that LG is trying to keep all that people loved about the G6 available in the V30 across the board, like the Hi-Fi DAC, which is incredible to use and to listen to actually, and then with the V30 you also get all of those tools for great content creation. So let us know what you think. How much did the LG V30 up the ante from the well-received LG G6? Let us know how you feel about both of these devices in the comments below, and then don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. We have plenty more coming for you from IFA 2017 here in Berlin, so make sure you stick around because we are your source for all things Android.